Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. So, on thoughts on comedy, it seems to be, let's define it. What's your definition for comedy? Pause the video. Go ahead, pause it. What's your definition? Now, comedy seems to be surprising you, and what would we say? It has to be a benevolent surprise, but you can make dark jokes. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that benevolent, but there could be jokes that are funny, but you find tasteless and don't tell, and don't want to hear. Alright, so what the hell is comedy? Well, I think the basic essential thing about comedy, about something being funny, the basic essential thing, if we took all jokes and took the measurement away, and all what we would be left with is a trick or a surprise or a rule switch. I think that's the essence of comedy. Some trick or some surprise or some switch in the rules. Let's see. I'm just gonna. I haven't got any examples particularly. I've got a couple light bulb jokes. Let's look at those. How many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? One. But the light bulb has to want to change, right? So we don't mean screwing the light bulb in, do we? We mean getting the light bulb to stop wanting to hurt itself or something, you know? How many flies does it take to screw in a light bulb? 2. But how do they get inside the light bulb and start screwing? I don't know. You see, on that one I switched it from change a light bulb, because the psychiatrist would change a light bulb. But the 2 flies would get inside the light bulb and screw. So they would screw in a light bulb. You see? You see, it's a rule switch. You see? Okay. Do we have more examples? Horse walks into a bar. Bartender says, "Why the long face?" That's lame. It's lame. There's one that I thought of that's actually a little bit more sophisticated and less funny, but an odorless cologne wouldn't make a scent. See what I did there? You can also do it this way. An odorless cologne wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense. See? What does he mean? What's he going on about? And that catches people. They go, and then they go, huh. Oh, See? It's got a thing. It switches the rule on you after you get it in there. Then there's this one. This is a nice one. This switches the rule right at the end. I like this one. If you're a grammar Nazi, you'll like this one. Knock knock. Who's there? To. To who? To whom? See, right at the end you switch. It's no longer a joke. You're correcting their grammar. So there's always a switch in the rule, it seems. Now, that would be a definition for, an essential definition for humor as such. What would we say that would actually fit when somebody bumps their foot and we laugh, or somebody gets hit in the crotch and we laugh? Now, body humor, as I call it, farts and armpit noises and that sort of thing, poop and pee jokes, have stopped being amusing to me. So maybe that's a thing that can happen. Maybe it's not innate to humans to laugh at poop and pee jokes, which I used to think it was. If you're losing your audience, you just say the word poop and you can get 95% of them to laugh just like that. So I avoid body jokes, fart jokes, poop and pee jokes. I just avoid them like the plague because it's stupid, it's easy humor, the laughs are cheap, they're no good. It's not a good laugh. If you can get a laugh telling a poop or pee joke, congratulations, you're like anybody. And the laughs are no good. I think the laughs are like automatic because of Bart Simpson type humor. So I think that sophisticated humor tends towards puns. I don't know why people deride puns so much. They used to be thought very sophisticated. What should a lawyer wear to court? Well, his best lawsuit, of course. Obviously. How do fish get high? Well, how else would they get high? Seaweed. Right? Of course they get high on seaweed. Switch the rule. Right? What's the rule switch with seaweed? They just didn't think of it. That's the thing. All you have to do is think of some of these. Just think of the answer. Just say the answer. And you go bam. Right? Here's a better example. The seaweed thing's obvious. If you ask someone how do fish get high, they could respond to you. They could verbally say weed, and then they would ask, their mind would say no, seaweed. Right? That could happen. Here's another one. Let me see if you can get this one. What happens when a frog double parks? Well, what happens when you double park? You get towed. See? It is a rule switch. At the end, you switch the rule. A pun is a rule switch. You're switching the rule. You're saying, I'm going to give you an answer, but the answer is a double use meaning word or something like that, right? So I think that's the essence of comedy. I think it involves switching the rule right at the end there and saying, oh, surprise, it's something different than I was leading you to believe. Okay? So it is a form of deception and it is a rule switch. Minus body humor, which I just haven't got a theory for that. I just look down on that. Alright, there you are, ladies and gentlemen, the essential characteristics of humor as I see it. Now, let us start a conversation about this, and you come back at me and say in the comments, you're wrong, here's a joke that, displays some other thing. So go ahead, give it a try. Tell me a joke that is different from what I'm suggesting. And here, just dark humor, let me cover that right at the end before I sign off. Joseph Stalin once said that dark humor is like food. Not everybody gets it. Mr. Cropper.